Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. And I have an email from a listener named Josh, who writes in and says, Tom, I'm trying my best to take my best buddy out to boys' night out for his birthday. But he's pussy whipped. And he won't go because his wife won't let him. What tactics might you suggest? Well, before we get to a generic conversation about this problem, Josh, let me give you my advice. And that is, this or any event, buy the tickets for you and him and say, it's a gift. Doesn't matter what his wife thinks. Take him out. Now, boys' night out is going to be guys only. There's not going to be chicks in the audience. It's not like you got to go there and pick up chicks. It's about male bonding anyway. So you just buy the tickets and then tell them, hey, I bought the tickets. It's on me. That's that. You're going. No choice in the matter. I mean, one of the most important things about doing this show is getting guys to say, the boys are going out tonight. We've had enough girls' night out. It's boys' night out, and that's what we're doing. So do not take no for an answer on this. The boys are going. That's it. You tell him. You bought the tickets, and he's going with you. But there's a bigger problem afoot here, and we know guys like this. Guys who have to ask permission before they do something. By the way, I'm not saying you shouldn't call home and say, hey, we're going to be late, we're having a drink tonight, or the guys and us going to a ball game this Saturday, or, you know, the boys going fishing this weekend, or whatever. I certainly, you should report that information. It's the guys who are always asking for permission to do things. Once you ask for permission to do something, boys, it's over. You're dead. You've lost the battle. She has won the war. Never, ever ask for permission to do anything. And I know, we all know guys like this. Now, if you would be man enough to admit you're one of these guys, I'd certainly love to get inside your head. Why do you need your wife or girlfriend's permission to do anything? I mean, all you do is tell them, hey, here's what's happening. That's it. That's how a man does it. You do not ask her, honey? You ever get into that tone of voice? Honey? The guys are going out for a drink tonight. You mind if I go out for a drink tonight, honey? You're dead. She's guaranteed to say no in 90% of the cases. Just no way. No. She loves having that power and control over you. And it's because you give it to her that she has it. Never ask for permission. Always simply inform. I'm not saying stay out till 4 in the morning without making a phone call. I'm not saying don't tell her you're going out for a drink, or don't tell her you're going out to a ball game this week. I'm not saying don't tell her that the guys are staying late, do a little happy hour or something. I'm simply saying you don't ask permission. You don't get into that position. You inform. Boys' night out, coming up Friday, June 17th, 8 o'clock, Wiltern Theater. We're going. That's it. If she doesn't like it, tough luck. She and the girls can go see, Phantom of the Opera, or go have a cup of Starbucks together. They can get into a knitting group together, or they can go out and have dinner together, whatever, while the boys are having their fun, whatever that might be. You notice I never advocate, lying or having an affair or cheating or anything. I don't advocate any of that stuff on the air. I don't. I simply say, though, that, just because you're married or just because you have a girlfriend doesn't mean you've given up any of your independence. Doesn't mean you can't still go out and do what you want to do sometimes. And honestly, I don't understand why guys ask for permission. Do you know somebody like this? Somebody who's constantly pussy whipped, having to ask his wife for permission, having to wait for her response, having to wait for her approval on things. Are you a guy like that?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Your listeners are like the stupidest people I've ever heard in my life.
By the way, attention advertisers, you too can reach this prime demographic.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
It's Tom Leykis Show on 1-800-5800-TOM. Do you know guys who have to ask for permission to do things? Are you one of those guys? Larry on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Papa.
Sonny, how are you?
How you doing, Dad?
Doing okay, son.
God, it's been... Listen, man, I got to tell you, and all the guys that are out there, we're hunting for you guys who's got a problem checking their stuff downstairs and might have it at their girlfriend's purse. My buddy Sean, Tom, listen to this. My buddy Sean, he's involved with a Latin chick, right? Now, a lot of cultures, specifically Latin, they're very, very, like, cut off when it comes to going out and stuff like that. And he just... What kills me is that he does it to himself. Why must these guys ask these questions and permission to be able to go? It's almost like I'm embarrassed for the guy, to be honest with you. You wouldn't believe it. And I wanted to call you because I know you've dated a lot of Latin chicks. You like Latin women. Yeah. So you can see that probably from time to time again they've tried to put little restrictions on you.
They try, but they also, in my experience, they respect authority. They respect manliness.
Yes, they do.
And if you put your foot down and say, here's the way it's going to be, they respect you. But if you don't do that, they will run all over. They'll walk, run, stomp all over you.
Oh, my God. Jesus Christ, Sean, if you're listening, please, you've got to listen to Leykis. You got to listen to the professor. You got to listen to our daddy. Everybody out there, this is Papa right now. Speaking the truth,
that's right. Speaking
the knowledge, women after women call him and say he's correct, and there's a reason for it. Hey, listen, Dad, I'm actually going to go see you in June.
Excellent.
I'm going to go check you out. I'm going to be the guy with the shirt. Me and my buddy are going to be the guys with the shirt that says, "Don't be a you-know-what, eat one." look out for us, all right?
I will. You got your tickets already?
Yeah, I already got them, brother. Are you kidding me? The moment they went on sale, I heard about you doing this, doing something big for the guys. So I'm setting it up. Me and my brother were the only ones that were able to go, and I'm going to get the rest of the fellas to join me up at a bar up in Pasadena after that.
Perfect.
So, I mean, that's just an awesome start to the night. I'm looking forward to the show and the comedians, and I want to come up and meet you and finally tell you how much of a help you've been. And there's been plenty of times where you've actually brought, like, almost tears to my eyes about how right you are about things.
Yeah.
But anyways, brother, I'm not going to take any more time. I just wanted to call you up and let you know you are very correct. Please let me know what these guys are thinking, asking women for permission.
Larry, I appreciate the call. We'll see you there at the Waltern, for God's sake. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tanya on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Tanya.
Okay, now I totally agree with you on this subject, because my husband does not have to ask. He'll ask if we have plans just because he always forgets stuff. But other than that, he knows that he doesn't have to ask for permission, and I think it's silly. You shouldn't be with somebody if you feel like they have to be your mother. So I completely agree with you. But I have a question.
Yeah.
Now, you're talking about your concert, which I think is real, or you're not your concert, I'm sorry, your comedy show, which I was actually telling my husband about because I think it's, kind of neat. It's only guys, it's something I've never heard of before. But how come now it's okay for the girls to have a girls' night out?
Oh, it's really not. I don't support girls' night out at all, and I think guys should put their foot down. But in reality, the most important thing is for the guys to get out.
Okay.
And so, as far as I'm concerned, you got to do what you got to do. But
okay, I was like, that contradicted himself. He always says...
Because you see, when the girls go out, they're not going to go out to a comedy club. The girls go out, they're going to go to a meat market, and they're going to let their gazongas hang out, and they're going to be tonguing somebody else after a few shots of Jägermeister.
Now, what about, and let me just ask this, and I don't go on very many girls' night outs anymore just because, life changes, you have kids, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But what about, a bunch of men don't want to go out, with their wives and listen to the wives talk about Desperate Housewives and, All My Children and Star Jones and The View, and sometimes that's what a lot of girls, the last time I went out with my friends.
But that you could do that at your house. You could do that at Starbucks. You could do that at the Olive Garden.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But what usually happens with girls' night out is there's at least one single gal in the group, or she's divorced, or whatever. And she is still out, like, looking for Mr. Goodbar every night. And she tells the girls, come on, let's go to the White Lotus tonight. And then everybody goes, and all the girls say, well, it's just the girls, so it's completely innocent. And they go to a club like White Lotus in Hollywood, where it's dancing and loud music, and it's a big meat market. By the way, it's one of the great clubs in Hollywood right now. One of the hottest places. You're lucky if you get in. But the girls are always looking for an excuse to go back to that time in their lives, and they will use the single friend who suggested, well, I wouldn't go to the White Lotus, but that's what she wanted to do. And the reality is you get to go out, wear a little shorter skirt, let your cans hang out there. They say, I had no idea. A guy came up to me and he started talking to me, and pretty soon he grabbed my ass. I couldn't believe it. It's all about that plausible deniability.
Okay, that part I understand. So you're not opposed to a bunch of women just going out for dinner and whatever that...
No, I'm not, but they don't do that.
Well, I do. The last time I went out with my friends, that's what we did, but it's been a while. So I was just wondering, like, what's wrong with that, you know?
But it's the cruising and boozing that I'm talking about. Always pitched as, come on, honey, it's just the girls. All the girls are going to get on the dance floor. We're all going to dance together. Ever use that excuse? When it's just the girl. Who do you dance with when you're at a dance club? No, it's all 6 of us girls. We get on the dance floor and we all dance together. And that might be true for the first 30 seconds until 6 guys cut in.
And ironically, this weekend, my friend wants to go out for her birthday. She wants it to be a couples thing, and my husband wishes that it would be the girls because he doesn't want to go. And he thinks that all the guys would rather watch the fight and play poker this Saturday.
Well, he might be right. But again, if what you're proposing to do is go out to the Gaucho Grill and...
Oh, no, she wants to go to a...
Have some empanadas. It's different from going out to a hot club.
See, and she doesn't want to go to a hot club. She wants to go to a country dancing club. But still, I mean, there's
you still need men to dance with.
There. No, she just likes to go to where, you don't get to go to very many places that play country music. She likes country music.
But you could buy a CD, for God's sake.
No, she wants to go with the men. My husband thinks that just the girls should go because he doesn't want to.
Right, but I'm saying if just the girls go, someone's going to dance with the girl.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. I completely agree with you there.
That's how trouble starts.
And that's what we did.
Right.
So, no, I agree. Alrighty, Tom, I just wanted to ask you about that. You don't usually contradict yourself, so I just wanted to make sure.
No, I am still officially opposed to Girls' Night Out.
Alrighty, well, I hope your show goes well and you make lots of money and you get to do it all over the country and start a whole new trend.
Thank you, Todd.
Alrighty, blow me up, Tom.
Here you go. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Jake on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Dad.
Son, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Great. Well, I'm basically the guy that you were wanting to talk to.
I see.
The pussy-whipped gentleman that asked permission?
Yes.
Yes, I am that person.
You are that person. And how did you become that person?
Well, to me, I just feel it's an easier way to avoid conflict.
But why do you need permission?
Well, it's not...
This is not your mommy we're talking to here.
No, you're right. It's not a mom.
This is someone who is supposedly your equal.
Yeah, and that's kind of what, I basically say, hey, I want to do this.
No, but if someone's your equal, you don't have to ask them for permission to do anything.
You're right. You're exactly correct there. I'm not a guy that gets all the ladies. So basically, I try to be as accommodating as I can be. I'm married. I'm 28.
You know where that takes you?
2 years.
You know where that takes you?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. There are times that, I basically have to put my foot down and, I have to get my balls out of the purse.
It's a lot harder to do that once you've let the genie out of the bottle.
Yeah, I fully agree with you.
You have to lay down the law early on.
Yeah, well, I think getting stoned doesn't help it very much. I'm more like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'll just, run along with what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I say, hey, is it okay if I do this? And if she says no, then I'm like, hey, well, why not?
Yeah. Yikes.
But
Jake, you got to take more control here. You got to simply say, I'm going out.
Yeah,
I just wanted to let you know. And here's what time we'll probably be home, and if I'm late, I'll call you.
Yeah, that's another thing is, I go up north to a town called Bellingham and go visit my friends up there, and I get a lot of crap from them because I'm like, well, it's 7:30, 8 o'clock. I got an hour drive home. I got to get going, guys. So, they all know why. So,
mm-hmm.
You know, so, but, you know, and I get crap from her, too, because I'm like, hey, I'll be home at 9, and I get home at like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Oh, and she gives you crap about that?
Yeah.
And why do you tolerate?
Well...
Just to avoid trouble. I just want to avoid trouble.
Yeah, and I love her, too.
Because she's going to cause trouble. Yeah, but wait a minute, she's not being reasonable.
Well, I live with 2 women. I live with my wife, and I live with her sister as well.
And her sister?
Yeah.
Strike 2. Why do you live with her sister?
Well, when we first started dating, it was basically a package deal.
Doesn't her sister have a job?
Her sister's legally crazy.
Legally crazy?
Yes.
Why did you sign on for this, may I ask?
It's one of those things. When I met my wife at the time, was my girlfriend. She's a really great lady, and having the 2 girls, it's kind of like having 2 girls to take care of you.
Not really. One of them is legally crazy.
Well,
sounds like you're taking care of her.
No, she you wouldn't know that she was legally crazy unless she told you. She has panic attacks. She can't handle being out in public.
And she can't handle living in her own apartment?
Well, she doesn't get enough from Social Security to cover that. So
you have to make up the difference.
Well, it's kind of like...
And you haven't even mentioned the fact that your wife has a kid by a previous relationship.
Yes, she does.
Now, let's review. You've taken on your wife.
Yes.
Her crazy sister.
Yes.
Your wife's kid.
And the sister has a child.
And who? And the sister has a child.
Yes.
So she's crazy, and she's passing the insanity on to somebody else.
She has PTSD.
Yeah, I know what PTSD is, post-traumatic stress disorder.
I'm just clarifying.
I was sued by somebody who said I gave her PTSD. You're laughing, but it's true.
I believe you, and that's why I'm laughing, because it's the irony of life.
I see. And then on top of all this, you have to ask, after doing all of this, taking care of all of these people who you are taking care of.
Yeah, my wife and she gets as well.
And then on top of that, you have to ask your wife's permission to go out with the boys.
Well,
meow.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't go out with the boys that much.
I'll bet you don't.
To me, going out with the boys is.
You have to stay home and have flashbacks with your sister-in-law.
Yeah, you're pretty damn close there, Tom.
It's very exciting. You have to stay home in case the car backfires.
Well, being a Poindexter doesn't help too much.
You're just lucky to get any tail you could get, so you said, okay, I'll take this.
If it makes you feel any better, Tom, I also drive 2 Volkswagens.
Yeah, I'm hardly surprised. A Jetta and a Super Jetta.
Actually, no, I have a Rabbit that's souped up in a GTI.
Souped up Rabbit.
Yeah.
That's great. That puts you on a level with 17-year-old rich bitches.
Yeah, it was an odd deal. Sometimes I ask myself, what the hell did I get myself into?
You ask yourself, but not too loudly. Your wife might hear you. She'll say, are you knocking me again? Are you saying things about me again?
I'm probably the poster boy of a Leykis 101, what they should not be.
My God. Hopefully you're having sex with a condom there, Jake.
Actually, she's fixed. That was the decision that we made when we drove down to Vegas to get married. Is that we did not want to have any kids. She was on the pill at the time. And, we drive down there, and we decided, well, her and I, if we had kids in the mix, that would be an instantaneous divorce. So she went in, she had some major surgery done, and while they were in there, she's like, well, might as well tie them off while we're there. So, that was the reassurance, and that's actually the one thing that I could say I did the Leykis way, is made sure there was not going to be any more. Yeah.
All right, Jake. Well, it's been completely depressing meeting you. I'm just trying to imagine what it would be like to be you.
Well, to be honest, it's pretty much...
Honey, the boys are going to have a beer. I might be home 10 after 8. Is that okay?
Yeah, well,
Does your sister approve, too? Let me talk to her.
Well, no, I got to be honest with you. We pretty much leave the approval decision-making between the 2 of us. And, if her sister pipes up later and says, hey, I really have a problem with this, then we have a sit-down. And
this is like the Brady Bunch on acid. You know that?
Yeah, it is. It's actually more like the Addams Family on crack. That's what it's more like.
Don't know how you do it, or why you do it.
Well, sometimes
I'm in love.
Well, that's kind of what it was. And, it's.
I love answering to this woman and her sister, her crazy sister.
Well, but Tom, they are good women. They really are.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they are. They take care of me, and I take care of them by going to work and
paying for everything.
Well, her sister does help out.
She gives you her $300 a month Social Security check. She gets her SSI check and hands it over to you. That's nice.
And it does help out.
But you pay up the difference, don't you, for her and the crazy kid too, right?
Well, the wife works too. And so,
but you make more and you end up putting in the most, right?
Well, it's actually right now. I'm just the job where I'm at. It doesn't pay me a whole lot, but it's in the career that I want to get into. Mm-hmm. And so,
but you hand the vast majority of that over to the cause.
Yeah,
which is your wife's kid by some other guy. Mm-hmm. Your wife, her crazy sister, and the crazy sister's daughter. You're paying for all of that.
Yeah.
But your crazy sister-in-law hands over her $300 a month SSI check to help out.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Sounds like a great deal.
Tom Leykis. Tom Leykis. 100. 500. Tom.
People fantasize about 14 and 15 and 16-year-old girls all the time. What are you going to do? Put them all in prison? Put everybody up to a lie detector test? Ask people if they fantasize about the girl across the street when she wears a thong bikini? You're going to put these people in prison? What are you talking about?
But where do you draw the line?
I drew the line for you, you idiot! Get off the phone. From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show. Thank you for tuning in, being part of our program. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. You've heard all about Boys Night Out. We've been talking about it with you, and it's coming up on Friday, June 17th, 2005. That's right, about 5 weeks away. 8 p.m., Wiltern Theater here in Los Angeles. It's the world premiere of Boys Night Out, and it's for the boys only. I mean, anybody can buy a ticket. That's the law, as you know, but Bobby Slayton and I are producing this show to rekindle the idea of male bonding, to get you guys out there. It's all guys talking to an all-guy audience. Don't be a pussy. You're not taking your wife. You're not taking your girlfriend. You're not taking your mistress. You're not taking any of the girls. And you're going to hear me as your MC talking in a way I can't talk on the air. All that stuff you've always wondered about, all those things you would hear me say if I didn't have to self-censor on this show, I'm going to say it. And we are not worried about political correctness. We're not worried about what women think. I guarantee you, your wife would be offended, and you'll pay handsomely if you bring her along. You don't want to do it. It's Father's Day weekend. Bringing your dad's a good idea. There's a Father's Day gift for you. But do not bring the girls. Boys Night Out. It's for the boys only. For tickets, you call Ticketmaster 213-480-3232. It's Friday, June 17th at 8 p.m., Ticketmaster, 213-480-3232, or you can visit Ticketmaster.com. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. What about these guys who always ask the girls permission? Can I go out? I might be 10 minutes late tonight. Is that okay? Judy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi there.
Hi there.
I'd like to say I totally agree with you that men nor women should ask permission. I totally agree. That's probably one of the first major lessons I learned in life. You don't ask permission, you just inform. Right on. But I would also say that if you're living in the twilight zone, if you are implying that men are going out for boys' night out just to have a good time with the
I'm not saying there aren't guys who screw around. Here, let me
out to ogle women.
There are. Wait a minute. No, you want to know something? I don't think guys do that as a group. I think if guys are doing that, they do it on their own. When the guys go out, they really do watch sports and go bowling and drink together. They're not looking for chicks in groups. That's not a group thing for guys. It's a group thing for chicks, but not guys. Now, I'm not saying guys don't go out to bars and try to pick up chicks and take their wedding rings off. You bet they do. On their own. I mean, I don't know a single guy out there who calls up 4 of his buddies and says, let's go to a dance club. It just doesn't work that way.
Well, I do see that happening, and I don't have a problem with that if men or women are going out.
Those guys are gay. Dean's right. Those guys are gay. Straight guys. Dean, all the years I've known you, Dean, I've known Dean 7 years. Did I ever call you and Gary and Brett up and say, come on, boys, we're going to go to a dance club tonight? Never. Never. And does that mean I've never been to a dance club? No, it doesn't. But when I've gone, I don't go with the boys. Here's one reason. If somebody ever does drag me onto the dance floor, I don't want the guys seeing that.
Uh-huh.
So I guarantee you that I would not go out with the boys to a dance club. Would I go to a sports bar? You bet. We go out to have a few drinks after work? Yup.
Would you go to Hooters? Yup.
Yeah, can I tell you something about Hooters? Have you ever been to Hooters?
Yeah.
Hooters is not a strip club, a porn club. These are not chicks who put out.
It is. I'm just saying that guys go out to ogle women, and I would say that the probability...
But the guys go to Hooters to watch sports and eat wings.
And more power to you.
And again, there is no female equivalent of Hooters, okay? Women, when they go out like this, they want to go to meat markets. Not eat wings, not eat garlic, not watch sports, not drink tea.
I go out with the girls all the time.
Yes, and they always use the one or two single friends they have as the excuse for going. Well, I don't usually go to the Highlands, but Jennifer wanted to go to the Highlands, and so we all went. But normally we would never go to a place like. Are you kidding? Normally at the Red Lobster. I couldn't believe we were at this place. And there were all these guys, and one thing led to another. I couldn't believe it. That's how women are. They're always using some excuse. Someone else tried to get me to do this. I had no interest in it. She told me we were all going, and so we all went.
Well, if anybody's lying to themselves, that's their problem. But I would say guys going out is a higher probability that they're looking to meet up with some chick than the other way around.
Not when they go in a group.
I would also.
I'm telling you, that is for men. That is not a group activity.
Okay, so you're saying we just have to worry about you guys when you want to go out by yourself.
Well, if there's ever a time to worry about us, it's when we're out on our own.
I see. Well, and just for the record, in my last, not one, but 2 relationships, I was the major breadwinner in that relationship. So
that tells us a lot about you, dear.
Don't be dissing,
That tells us a lot about you, darling. What do you look like, dear?
That are paying the major.
What do you look like?
Foot of the bill.
What do you look like, darling?
I'm a great-looking, woman that's just out having a good time. And
what do you look like exactly? Tell us.
Intelligent enough to make a good living on my own, and I keep everything in my own name.
Here, how tall are you?
I'm 5'9".
How much do you weigh?
120.
120. And what's your cup size, dear?
I'm on the radio, man.
That's why I have to ask you. Otherwise, I'd just look at you and I'd tell you what your cup size is.
Well, I don't know if that matters.
It does matter. You're anonymous, Judy.
Let's just say I would never need a breast implant.
So you got large knockers?
I do.
And are you a butterface, or what's the deal? Are you really attractive?
I mean, I guess I don't stare in the mirror at myself every morning and go, gee, how gorgeous am I? But, yeah, I think I'm a good-looking
Well, put it this way. Most women who are the breadwinners of the family are the less attractive sort. And the ones who say, I'm intelligent enough to make my own living. Generally, that means I'm intelligent enough to know that no man will ever pay my bills, so I had to get a job and pay them myself.
No, I educated myself so that I could always walk away.
That's what, frankly, that is what average to homely-looking women have to do.
Nope. I would say I wanted...
Hot chicks get everything paid for.
I never wanted to be in a position, never, where I had to be in that relationship.
Well, you had no choice.
Somebody was paying for me. I could always walk away. And my last relationship, which just ended...
If you didn't make more money than he made, you'd never have a relationship. What?
He was an attorney, and I still made more than he did, and I had to kick him out. But I educated myself so I would always have that option.
I see.
Smart for everyone out there.
Yeah, but hot chicks generally don't do it.
Well, why would they want to be in a position...
I'm not saying that's a good thing for them to do. I'm just saying generally they don't.
Well, then they're foolish, because They need
and they're foolish because they don't read and they're not well educated and they don't have to be because hot chicks get everything paid for.
But they don't want to leave themselves in a position where they have to have everything.
If they were smart chicks, they'd be thinking ahead about that. But they're not educated because they don't have to be because everything's paid for.
Well, that's what
they usually find out after their expiration date. They find out that guys don't want to do anything for them anymore or pay for anything anymore.
Well, I just guess I was smarter from the get-go then.
And what does that tell us about you?
Tom Leykis. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
When you're 60, are you going to be with some young woman who doesn't care about you?
I have no idea. All I'll tell you is that Bob Barker's my idol. He's a guy who, like 70 years old, gets sued for sexual harassment. That's my idol.
The Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. April, hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, April.
So, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I agree that men should have guys' night out. I think that that's great, and it keeps them men. But why are you opposed to women having girls' night?
Because so many girls don't go to a place like the Boys' Night Out show that we're producing. They go to places where men go to meet chicks on the dance floor or at the bar.
Well, we don't have anyone sponsoring a girls' night out like Tom Leykis.
Well, dear, if you would like me to do that, just ask.
Okay, why don't you give us a girls' night out, Tom?
All right, well, let's see how much demand there is for that. Believe me, if there was not much demand, I'd be doing it.
Yeah?
And if I hear from that many women, believe me, money is green. I don't care where it comes from.
Right.
But
well,
in the meantime, dear, though, you could go to simply a restaurant and have dinner.
Well, that's what I do with my girlfriend.
You could, but so often women like to go to these trendy places with bars where they make martinis and all these things. They're places that double as meat markets.
Well, I mean, my girlfriends and I go shopping all night, or we go to have sushi and sake and things like that. We don't just, I don't like going to nightclubs anyway. They're too loud, and, you're right, they are meat markets. So to have for me, girls' night out is just to go, have dinner and drinks with my friends and talk about Desperate Housewives or whatever.
Right. What can you say about Desperate Housewives that hasn't already been said?
No kidding. Well, I just don't, I think that it's much more harmless for women to go out because guys, go to strip clubs and things like that with their friends, and girls just go dancing. So what's the difference in that? I mean, we don't have,
you know why? Because dancing involves interaction with strange men.
Well, so strip clubs, but the strange men
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. If you don't get a lap dance, if you're just sitting there staring at some disembodied female 6 feet away, that is not the same as having some guy grabbing your ass as you're doing the lambada, okay?
Well.
It's a little different.
That close to me, but... Well, okay, but you can't look at half-naked men at a dance club.
Well, again,
unless they're, not right.
And I'm not even suggesting... by the way, I'm no fan of strip clubs, generally. I generally don't go to strip clubs.
There's big T's, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, if I can't finish the act, what's the point?
All right.
All right.
Well, okay, so you just think that most women just go out and get their asses grabbed on the dance floor.
Well, and they use it as an excuse. They'll use their one single friend as an excuse, or the two remaining single friends, or the one single friend, one divorced friend, who still go out to these clubs.
Yeah.
Well, I said, let's go to the Red Lobster, but she said, oh, no, let's go to the Sunset Room instead,
Right.
I told her, I said, I just figured we'd go out and have some shrimp and shrimp night at the Sizzler, but no. She wanted to go out to a club, and I said, well, I'll ask, I'll see.
Yeah, well, like I said, I don't get together with my girls' friends to do that. If I want to go out dancing, I usually, I take someone with me because I don't want,
That's what your gay friends are for, dear.
That's exactly what I'm going to say. I take a gay friend out or go to their clubs or something.
Right.
Because I don't want to be hit on. I don't want to be treated like that. So.
Yeah, well, if I were your boyfriend or husband, I'd agree with you on that. Maurice, I got a minute here. Hello. Maurice. Maurice does not know he's on the air. Sitting quietly, probably made up a pseudonym and can't remember what name he used when he got through Dean. Oh, there he goes. Pencils down, everybody. Maurice is gone. Our email address is my name. It's Tom at blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.